Now, if and when the Syrian government and Western-backed political opposition in the country sit down at the negotiating table together along with world powers in Switzerland this week, Iran may be joining them. But the surprise invitation to Tehran from UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is not being received well by the opposition or the United States. Our Connie Kim has the details.
With less than 3 days until landmark international peace talks in Switzerland over the civil war in Syria, the United Nations has invited Iran to the table, an invitation that Tehran has accepted. Speaking at a surprise news conference at the UN headquarters Sunday night, Secretary General Ban Ki-moon said Iran needs to be part of the solution to the Syrian crisis.
Foreign Minister Zarif and I agree that the goal of the negotiations is to establish, by mutual consent, a transitional governing body with the full executive powers.
Ban said Iranian Foreign Minister Zarif had pledged that Iran would play a positive and constructive role in the negotiations. However, the Western-backed main opposition group, the Syrian National Coalition, isn't as sure. They immediately condemned the invite, calling it a deal-breaker and announcing they would withdraw from the talks. It was just last Saturday when the main opposition group agreed to sit down side by side with the Syrian government, but their participation now remains in doubt. The United States has a more complicated stance on the matter. They support Tehran at the table, but only on a conditional basis. American officials have suggested that Iran had not met all the conditions for attending the negotiations in Montreal, Switzerland, which call for establishing a transitional body to govern Syria. Delegations from 30 countries are slated to meet for the Geneva II talks on Wednesday. More than 100,000 people have been killed in the civil war that began with peaceful protests in March 2011. Connie Kim, Arirang News.